Hi everyone, welcome to Just Love. My name is Paula and I'm here with Judy, and today we're going to get into some profound questions and answers regarding transitioning and the in-between. Hi Judy.
Hi Paula, hi everyone.
So before we talk about the in-between, we'll start off by talking about death, or transitioning as Judy prefers to call it. Judy has experience on this topic, so please feel free to share.
Okay, thanks Paula. The first thing we need to understand is we are not our body. We are an individualised aspect of universal consciousness, a soul, making use of a biological body to enable us to experience physicality for the span of a lifetime. Our body is simply a container or vehicle that the soul consciousness steps into prior to birth and steps out of at the time of death. This can be compared to a driver getting into and out of a car. To believe that you are nothing more than a physical 3D body is comparable to believing that you, the driver, are your car.
Yeah, it's always good to be reminded of that. Many people aren't even aware of this.
Which is so sad, because death is the only thing in life that is a certainty. Where there is life, there is also death. But on earth, so much fear, misinformation, and so many taboos and superstitions surround this certainty that we all face. A wealth of information is available from researchers such as Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross and Dr. Raymond Moody, and others who have written books on their own near-death experiences, such as Dr. Eben Alexander, a prominent neurosurgeon and author of the book Proof of Heaven, and Anita Moorjani's book, Dying to be Me.
Yeah, the information is out there, but still the general consensus is that we don't know what happens when we die because no one has ever come back to tell us. But they have, and they have documented it in books for us to read.
Absolutely, for sure. The problem is death is such a taboo subject for so many people. These researchers and experiences do not have the readership and audience that they should have.
Mm-hmm.
Because death is a certainty for every one of us, one would think that everybody would want to know and learn as much about it as possible, but this is not the case. One would also assume that an important role for religions would be to teach us correctly about death, but again, no. In many cases, all that religion does is spread more fear and superstition in the way of a judgemental God figure, angelic beings playing harps, or eternal damnation and hellfire for those who do not slavishly follow the dogmas set down by the humans who run these myriad religions.
So in other words, we've been controlled for a very long time.
We sure have, for millennia. A deeper understanding of the energy of universal consciousness is the key to understanding death, but this is rarely explained in terms that an average person can understand.
And so you've got some analogies to help us with this.
Yes. Further explanation is needed to clarify the fact that brain and consciousness are not the same thing. Our brain is the physical organ through which we can access consciousness in exactly the same way as our lungs are the physical organs through which we can access the air we breathe. We're surrounded by air, but we are limited by our lung capacity and the amount of air we can take in and process. In the same way, we're surrounded by consciousness, but are limited by our brain on the amount we can take in and process. When we refer to humans being only able to access approximately 10% of their potential consciousness, science denies this, claiming that our whole brain is utilised. But it's actually consciousness that we're referring to in this sense, not brain power. Yes, the brain does carry on with a lot of activity that we're not aware of through the autonomous nervous system, but we're still only using 10% of our potential consciousness. The so-called junk DNA referred to by science is the same. DNA is multidimensional. Junk DNA is simply DNA operating at frequencies beyond the 10% or thereabouts that can be measured by the very limited technology available on Earth. The level of activated DNA and the level of conscious awareness we're able to access are intrinsically linked. Once we can begin tapping consciously into more of our DNA, as a few people on Earth can do, a whole new world will open up to us. Australian researcher, counsellor, clinical hypnotherapist and author Mary Rodwell talks about this in her book entitled The New Human, Awakening to Our Cosmic Heritage. In chapter 14, page 220, under the heading, Is Human DNA Mutating?, Mary discusses scientific proof that this is happening. Mary Rodwell is the founder of ACERN, A-C-E-R-N, which stands for Australian Close Encounter Research Network, and is doing some amazing work in this field. The fact is, more activated DNA equals expansion of conscious awareness. This in turn will open us consciously to other dimensional realities that are all right here, right now. Everything in the universe is energy, nothing more and nothing less. The only difference is vibrational frequency. This is what the Genuine ET Hybrid program is about, assisting humanity to awaken to these higher and finer realities.
Yeah, so everything in the universe is energy, nothing more and nothing less. The only difference is vibrational frequency. It's all about the vibrational frequency of energy. This is what creates the veil between dimensions. So keeping that in mind, in our next episode we will talk about the between life state that we can refer to as the in-between. We have spoken about the in-between in some of our past episodes, but considering what's going on in the world right now, with many people transitioning and the fact that 4D is opening up more, and along with that comes fear and misinformation. So bearing this in mind, it's always comforting to go over it again and to have clarity about what's really going on.
Yes, there's quite a lot we can talk about on the subject, and the fourth dimension tests connected with the New Age movement that many of us have been put through are to deal with the whole planetary shift up to 5D, which is happening right here, right now. This is not a between life state in that we don't need to leave our physical body in order to experience it, but many people are. So more understanding is needed to get us past the fear. Anyway, this is a pretty big subject to cover, so we'll leave it until next time.
Yeah, this subject and lots more is covered in Judy's books, in which you can read about energy, universal consciousness, God, ET, and interdimensional contact, etc. And so Judy's books are
Human by Day, Zeta by Night, followed by The Zeta Message, then Extraterrestrial Presence on Earth, Lessons in History, and my two most recent books, both Kindle editions and both also available in German, An Interview with an Alien, Comments by an Undercover ET, and Cosmic Spirituality, Blending Religion and Science in Oneness from an Off-Planet Perspective.
Thanks, Jude, and thanks everyone for listening. Please share, like and subscribe. Sending you all so much love, and bye for now.